Do you ever think about how these things are called wife beaters? Outside of America, it's just called an undershirt. Seriously, why is the name so violent for something that's just a white tank top, out of all things? It's like referring to priest robes as like a biblical glooming cloak or something like that. Why does the sleeveless tee have such a violent name? According to Wikipedia, the term wife beater reportedly became synonymous for an undershirt after a 1947 criminal case where a Detroit man was arrested for beating his wife to death, and their newspaper printed a photo of the wife beater wearing a stained undershirt. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Now I think about it, in media portrayals of, like, domestic violence, if a man is beating up his wife, he's wearing a white tank top as well. So yeah, men being violent towards women is somehow ubiquitous to the shirt. There's also stigmas of classism because these shirts are just so cheap and accessible to the poor. And also xenophobic, because why the fuck not? Let's make it both classes and races on top of being violent and sexist. Then there's some guy named Paul Davidson who tricked people into believing that the name wife beater derived from a medieval chainmail undergarment that was called a wife beater. Even though Davidson did intentionally spread misinformation to prove the point that people will literally believe anything they see and read on the internet, I still think it kind of sounds plausible. I mean, it's satire, it's made to look as convincing as it possibly can, but in medieval terms, if you were a woman who just breathed the wrong way, you deadass would get ousted as a witch. So really, the concept of a knight physically assaulting their own wives is not an unrealistic idea, unfortunately. So then, if wife beater is too aggressive for a name, what else should we call it? Yeah, I don't know, I just call it a tank top, but I have heard some people come up with the name wife pleaser, and I think it's a really fun twist. Like, I didn't think that something that started as domestic violence could be changed into something of much of a cuter name. Like, it's very pleasant, like the shirt itself. And I think a lot of wives here agree as well. I also heard people use, like, wife respecter and wife lovers. Both solid names, but wife pleaser just has that oomph that really, like, scratches the brain, you know? To the people who are insistent on calling it a wife beater, literally why, it's just kind of fucking weird to be like, it's so hot outside, bro, I need to wear a wife beater. I got a dirty wife beater to deal with when I get home. Man, I sure do love wife beaters. Hey, beater! Despite its whack history, it's just a shirt at the end of the day. And global warming is real. Seriously, why is it so fucking hot outside? It's supposed to be fall right now. Subscribe, or I'll beat your wife. Even if you don't have a wife, I'll take you to the altar and marry you off to someone, and then I'll beat your wife if you don't subscribe.